investor in Solar Reserve. Did that in any way influence your decision to give Solar Reserve a loan guarantee?
No. Similarly, I did not know.
Mr. Secretary, did the fact that David Sandolau, Senior Advisor at Good Energy's Assistant Secretary at Department of Energy, major investor in Solar Reserve, did that in any way influence your decision to give Solar Reserve a loan guarantee?
No.
Mr. Secretary, Steve Spinner, whose wife law firm represents Solyndra, a former bundler for the President, Mr. Spinner was, did that in any way influence your decision to help Solyndra?
No.
Mr. Secretary, how about John Bryson, former chairman of the board at BrightSource, now the Commerce Secretary? Did that in any way influence your decision to give a loan guarantee to BrightSource?
No.
How about Peter Weeks, Mr. Secretary, Clean Energy Advisor at the Department of Energy for loan guarantee programs? Did he have any influence on whether decisions were based on politics, seeing how his experience on his resume says his only experience prior to was working in the presidential campaign?
No.
How about Mr. Secretary Sanjay Waggle, Principal at Vantage Point Venture Partners, investor in BrightSource Energy? Did that in any way influence the Department of Energy's decision to give BrightSource a loan guarantee?
No, it did not.
Mr. Secretary, how about Larry Summers, former director at the National Economic Council at the White House, formerly with D.E. Shaw, an investment firm with a stake in the Kahuka Project? Did that in any way influence your decision to give a loan guarantee to Kahuka?
No, it did not.
How about Steve Wesley, Mr. Secretary, who bundled $500,000 for President Obama in the 2008 campaign? Did that have any influence on your decision to give a $465 million loan guarantee to Tesla, the company that he was involved with?
No, it did not.
Did anyone at the any of these individuals I mentioned, did they in any way lobby you, talk to you about the respective companies that they had a stake in during the decision-making process with the 1705 program?
And to the best of my knowledge, no. In fact, this is a remarkable list because I was unaware of.
I just mentioned 9 people, Mr. Secretary, if I could, because I have a short time. I just mentioned 9 people representing 8 different companies. My understanding, there were 27 companies in the 1705 program who got a loan guarantee, 8 of which had connections, close connections with the administration, with the campaign. Do you see any kind of pattern? This is approximately 30% of the recipients in the 1705 program, close connections with the White House. Do you see a pattern or concern there?
No, I don't.
Do you think the American people might see a pattern if 30% of the folks were bundlers for the President, involved in the administration, sitting on the boards of the companies who received money, particularly companies like Solyndra that are now bankrupt? Do you think the American people might see a pattern?
Well, if the full record is revealed, I think you can look at some of the other financial backers of some of our loans who were prominent Republican donors. The fact is,
did the White House ever call you about, talk to you about any of these? Did you get someone from the White House, the Chief of Staff, someone from the White House talk to you about these respective companies with involving these individuals?
No, we did not.
So you weren't just helping your friends. You weren't just helping people who were politically connected to the administration.
That's correct.
Even though 30% of the loan guarantees went to people who had connections with the administration.
Well, as I said, we look at the loans on their own merits. We don't look at who's backing.
Okay, so let me turn to that. So if you weren't helping your buddies and you were basing the decisions on the merits of the loan, how do you explain the fact that 23 of the 27 recipients of the loan guarantees were rated as junk status investments? How do you explain that fact? So, I mean, this is what my opening statement was about. If it wasn't your political buddies, it had to be incompetence, because tell me what organization would put money at risk in 23 companies out of 27 that are rated junk category, BB minus. And this is what the American people want to know about. Because there's no other conclusion you can reach. You helped your friends or you guys were incompetent. That is the only, when you look at the 1705 program, the facts are the facts. I don't see how anyone can arrive at any other decision.
When you look at the constraints and what we wanted to do with the loan program, which was to invest in innovative technologies, what that means if you're a AAA rated company.
What does junk status mean? BB minus. What's that mean? It means analysts expect these companies to fail, and yet you put millions of taxpayer dollars, American dollars, at risk in companies that S&P and Moody's, they expect to fail, and you put the money at risk. So you're telling me that's what you did because you didn't base it on your words, you didn't base it on the fact that these were political friends of the White House. So you had to base it on something, and it certainly couldn't have been the investment ratings that they were given by the investment companies, because that indicates that these companies are expected to fail when they're junk status.
Well, first, if you look at the statutes in the loan program, it said that we wanted to invest in innovative projects but had a reasonable chance of repayment. And if you look at the
don't you think
the gentleman's time has expired. If you just want to get a final answer.
I would just say, if a reasonable expectation of succeeding, then why did the ratings agencies say that they were junk status, which means they have a problem, they're probably going to fail. That's why they gave them the rating.
The Secretary may answer.
Very briefly, I think we can all look up what these ratings mean. And
I have.
I have. EB rating.
I wish you guys would have before you gave the loans.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Mr. Chairman, yes, Mr. Chairman, I would ask. Those are some strong allegations. At least give them a chance to answer.
I am.
Okay.
That's why I keep saying the gentleman's time has expired. Mr. Secretary, we want to make sure you're fully able to answer a question. Please
Mr. Chairman, thank you for that courtesy. All I just wanted to say is that double B, single B, things of that nature are they're qualitative words. This can be quantified with FCRA ways of dealing with this. And the FCRA rules are saying that you try to assign as best you can. It's an art more than a science, a probability